Oh, have you not heard? It was my understanding that everyone had heard.
Heard what?
Brian, don't!
Welcome back, Padawans, to another episode of the Jedi Archives, alright? Now, we had upon us the Game Awards yesterday on December 7th. Now, with that being said, we've got a slew of world premieres, and I have 20 of them to go over with you that really sparked a chord with me, alright? So, without further ado, because we do have 20 and I want to get through this list as quickly as possible to get you in and get you out, get you back in the halls, let us start with the first. We're going to start with DLCs, okay? We're going to start there because I wasn't expecting to see any DLCs. Now, when I first started it, I did hear, because I was watching it with the PlayStation Trophy Room community, and I thought that there was talk about there potentially being a God of War DLC that we could potentially see. I came into this with little to no expectation at all, so I was really, down for whatever. And let me tell you, we got that DLC, all right? Not only did we get God of War DLC, it's going to be a roguelike, and it comes out on the 12th. And that's not all, guys. It's going to be free. That's right, F-R-E-E, free, baby. I cannot wait. This is literally I think it's dropping on Tuesday or Wednesday. I think it's Tuesday, though. Cannot wait. I'm gonna have to find some space on the PlayStation 5 to be able to download this damn thing. But that is not the only DLC that we got coming out of the Game Awards yesterday, alright? So the other one that we got is another one that just hits home. Probably going to be my game of the year when it's all said and done, and that is Final Fantasy 16. We've seen 2 DLCs that are coming out for the game. One of them is already out right now. You can go and buy it and jump in on the fun. The second one should be out, I think it said springtime is when that one's going to be coming out, so we still got some time until that one, but oh my gosh, I wasn't even thinking about getting DLC for Final Fantasy 16, but oh boy, am I there for it, because I'm telling you, I love the game, and I can't wait. I continuously think about that game after I've beaten it. And out of every game that I played this year, that is the one that I just can't get out of my mind. And I'm not saying it's religious, like it just lives in my head rent-free, but it's so good, and I see myself going back and just thinking about my time with that game on, like, at least a monthly basis. So, very hyped for that, very excited to get these new DLCs, very excited for the free God of War DLC, and without further ado, guys, let us get into the world premieres that we saw yesterday, alright? So, I'm going to be playing the videos overhead as well, so you can see, but I also am going to be watching them too, just to refresh myself. But the first game that we have here that was announced was Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, the remake. Now, this comes from 505 Games, and I gotta say, this is one of those that, there are games that come out that are great, and sometimes you just can't get around to them. This is one of those games for me, unfortunately. I just never had the chance to get around to playing this game, and you know what? Maybe that's a good thing, because now I can jump in on the remake whenever this launches. And I gotta say, this thing looks fantastic. It looks beautiful, and I honestly did not know there was this much going on in the game. So, very excited to try this out whenever this remake finally launches, alright? But let us move over to the next game here, and that is going to be Usual June, alright? Now, this game starts off, and it's you can see that the artistic style is very much reminiscent of what we would see from the Into the Spider-Verse movies, and already here for that, already pulling up for that. We have a female protagonist in this one. Always love to see that too. I mean, I'm playing Avatar as the female Navi, because that's just what they started me as. I'm like, you know what? I feel like this is where we need to be, and I'm absolutely loving it and enjoying it. So I love female characters, especially, shout out to GTA 6, hello! Anyway, this is coming from Finji, and it does seem like it's going to be very narrative-driven. There's going to be some dialogue that you have to, talk to your different characters in this game and stuff like that. But the combat here, the combat looks really, really good, and it's one thing that I'm excited for. So not only the art style, not only just the style of it as in and of itself, but then the fighting and the action of it too. I wasn't expecting to see this from this game when it first, jumped on the screen, alright? But let us move over to the next game. Now, I will preface this, I'm not doing this in any order or anything like that. I'm really just, well, it isn't in order. It's in the order of when I saw it in the Game Awards. But I will tell you what I bopped for the most. You know what I'm saying? Now, one of those we've already talked about, and that's God of War Ragnarok. Because I tell you what, I didn't realize that was coming. So, yeah, I'm very excited for that one. But let's get into Arknight's Enfield, all right? Now, I believe Arc Knights... Nope. No. That's the header of the game. This is actually from Griffline. So, this game here, it definitely feels like it's going to be something. It's going to be something good. Now, I believe this one is our anime style game. And I've got to say, when this came on screen, I was like, okay, yeah. I am all for anime style games. You know what I mean? As I've gotten farther and farther down the anime path, you know, watching different animes, finding animes that people have told me, and then just finding some of my own, this definitely strikes a chord with me. And ever since Final Fantasy VII Remake, I've really been liking, like, the narrative style of JRPGs, but I just don't like the turn-based aspect of it. This here don't look like nothing turn-based. It looks like it's all real-time. I love that we have that cel-shaded look to these characters in a real-world-like setting. It's really good. It stylistically looks fantastic, and I can't wait. I'm very jazzed for Enfield. But let us move over to the next game here, and this game is called Exodus. This is from a new Austin-based studio. This is their very first game, and not only that, but apparently, Matthew McConaughey, not apparently because Homeboy came out on stage and announced this game, he is going to be in this game and plays a pretty pivotal role from my understanding. He says that he will be talking to all of the players who are playing in this game. So it seems like he is going to be a prevalent character in here. But this studio is named Archetype. And again, first game for them, but from what I'm looking, visuals and everything, and even just the story that they're trying to tell, just, you know, this is all cinematic trailer, but at least seeing, well, no, it's not. There's going to be some gameplay to this too, but seeing just, you know, where the story is going just from this trailer here, I am already intrigued. You know, when you're telling me that we have light speed and there's going to be a time dilation there where the person who's going through light speed is, you know, it's only going to be like a second for them, as it's going to be a lifetime for whoever else they're leaving behind. That kind of duality, I love that. That's what we saw in Interstellar, and honestly, I can see why Matthew McConaughey decided to, you know, kind of get in bed with Archetype and, you know, be a character in this game, because it seems like this is something that he is very privy to, that he knows this kind of style of storytelling in this sense. And obviously, too, he's a Texas-based man, so I think that, you know, all of that coming together, plus with him wanting to get into the video game industry in some way, shape, or form, I think it all just lined up perfectly for him to be a character in Exodus. But I gotta say, this one, again, it looks like a day one for me, man. It depends on what we're doing in the game, realistically, but I'm digging what I'm seeing, all right? Let's move over to the next game, guys, and we've got Kamuri. Now, Kamuri is, we only got a short little trailer for this one, but shoot, in this little 40 seconds that they showed, they gave me enough to chomp on, all right? Now, the only thing I ask is, what kind of game is this? It looks like it's very action-focused. Is this going to be like a multiplayer game? Is it going to be a, a co-op game where it's just 4 of your buddies and then you're going against the computer? I don't know. I really don't know, because, again, this is just a CGI trailer. They're just trying to show us the concept of what they've got down, but it looks funky. It looks real funky, and it looks like it's got character to it from the 40 seconds that we've seen here. So, you know what? I'll be waiting with bated breath to see what is going on with Kamuri. But let us move over to No Rest for the Wicked. This comes from Private Division. I don't believe I said what the Kamuri game was from. I apologize. But this is from Private Division, and this game, I believe, is from the makers. I believe they are the makers of Ori. Now, I say I believe because I haven't played Ori, you know what I'm saying? But they're not really my cup of tea, or at least from, you know, like side-scrollings, top-down games. Not usually. Top-down is more my cup of tea than side-scroller, but this game here, this one, I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, I'm a sucker for visuals. You give me an artistic visual landscape to look at while I'm playing this game, I'm gonna be hooked. And it looks like all of these characters are like painted as they're also three-dimensional. Now, I feel like there was a game that came out from Square Enix, and I don't remember what the name of it is, but it came out recently and it bombed when it came out, and that's why I never played it. But it had a similar art style to this. Now, again, from Ori, it is a top-down game. I think this is one that I could get behind. I feel like I could, but I'm not 100% sure. Oh, this is from Moon Studios. So Moon Studios is the people who are behind this. So I guess Private Division is the publisher for them. But I definitely, I'm going to keep my eyes down for this one. You know, I'm going to keep them, I'm going to lock it in, and I want to see more about this game. I like the creatures and everything in it, but again, top-down is the only reason why I'm a little hesitant with this one. But let us move over to the casting of Frank Stone. Now, this is a game that is a collaboration between Dead by Daylight and Supermassive. Now, if you know Dead by Daylight is a PvP game where you have one person who is like the monster basically, and then they're going against a party of maybe, like 5 to 6 people. And that's kind of how they balance it out, because the monster has astronomical powers and you're just a human. So you really don't, you have to use the means that are at your will. So this is a collaboration with Supermassive. Supermassive, as we all know, Until Dawn, The Quarry, which is the most recent game, and then the Dark Picture Anthology. They are the ones who do those narrative kind of somewhat point and click in a sense. They're more of like a walking, and you want to engorge the narrative, engorge the story as you're going through it, and it's definitely something that every now and then I'm into. You know what I mean? Like, I started playing The Quarry, and I really, really loved The Quarry. I am not gonna lie. I loved The Quarry and what we were getting into with that. And it's making me fall in love with this style of game. So I'm very excited for this. Now, Supermassive is the GOAT at doing games like this specifically. So I am definitely ready and willing to see what they do in the Dead by Daylight universe. And I think it's so cool that we see two prominent game companies or gaming series, game company and series, coming together to create something new. Fantastic. All right, but let us move over to one of, if not the biggest highlights of this show. Now, not necessarily for me per se, it was up there, but definitely for the show as a whole, for the audience that was at the show, this one definitely popped off. Now, this is called OD, aka Overdose. This is Hideo Kojima's new game that he is dropping on the Xbox consoles. I cannot wait, because this man is an auteur. All right, he understands video games. He gets it. He understands, and he knows how to keep you on the edge of your seat as you're playing through these 40-hour sprawls of game. And I've got to say, the Metal Gear Solid, not really for me, but this one, yes. And, Death Stranding as well. I am very intrigued at the new direction that the Kojima Productions has gone in. Well, not gone in, but since he created Kojima Productions, what he is doing. He's able to do what he wants. We don't know much about this, but just visually from what you're seeing here on screen, this game looks fantastic. Now, when this was first announced, we didn't see any trailer for it or anything, but when they were first talking about it, they said that this is going to be the first full-on, cloud-based game. And it's supposed to show off the technology of cloud-based gaming and show that it is a fundamental way to actually enjoy gaming. And I love that. I love that. Obviously, we're doing Xbox because Xbox has got it down to a science at this point. And we see Kojima wanting to experiment with that new technology. And I'm over the moon. And I can't wait. I think this is a huge win for Xbox. And we're going to be waiting on the edge of our seats for OD. All right? Oh, I almost forgot the best part. Jordan Peele is a writer on this game. Enough said. This game's gonna have the jump scares and everything, and the good ones that make you think about real shit. So I cannot wait for more information on this damn thing. But let us move over to the next game, guys, and that is Jurassic Park Survival. Jurassic Park Survival. Man, oh man. Now, I've got to say, let me preface this and put it out there. Now, this is coming from Universal, but I will already say, this is a first-person game. I thought that it was going to be third-person. I think a third-person Jurassic Park game would be fantastic. Third-person, action-oriented. Doesn't seem like it's going to be that, but first-person is still fine. It gets you in the feels, and it gets you, right up close and personal to these different dinosaurs and stuff like that, to where you're going to feel like you're there in the Jurassic universe, you know what I'm saying? And you might not want to be, but you bought the game, so it is what it is. But anyway, so I'm not that big into survival games. Let me preface that already out the gate. However, I could potentially get behind this because I'm sitting here and I'm looking at the gameplay of it, and it doesn't really strike me as your standard survival. It does feel like you are going to be there could be a narrative here, an ongoing narrative. And that's really what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that there's a story that can keep us going on, but then there are going to be those survival aspects that kind of, make you have to craft your different things and really kind of, utilize your utilities properly. And I think that that's a good way to do it because, of course, if you're stuck in this world, you're going to have to survive. That's just end of discussion. That's what they did throughout all 3 of those movies. So they could do a narrative-based survival game here, and that's what I'm hoping for. I don't know if we're going to get that, though. So either way, I am very excited for this because I'm tired of seeing the what is it, Jurassic Park Evolution or whatever they're called, where you're just doing like the park creator. Again, those are for some people. Definitely not for me. This is the kind of Jurassic Park game that I've been looking forward to. An actual tangible game where I can be in the universe and have to go toe-to-toe with these dang things. So I'm here for it. But let us move over to the next 2 games because they kind of get roped together, guys. But we have from the makers of Rocket League. I almost forgot the last part of it. But from the makers of Rocket League comes Fortnite Rocket Racing. Fortnite Rocket Racing. Are you serious right now? Is Fortnite trying to come for what is this called? Super Mario Kart. Is that what I'm seeing? Because I'm telling you, I see power-ups, I see carts, I see windy tracks, I see some colorful, visuals. This looks like it could be. This looks like it could be the fight against Super Smash Brothers, or Super Smash Kart. Super Mario Kart. Whatever, guys. All right, it's been a long day. It's 1:30 in the morning. All right, cut me some slack. Anyway, I am definitely for this. Y'all know, if you've been listening to me, I am a huge racing fan. So I love racers. I love that we can do this with our Fortnite characters. This is really cool. And it also, well, you know what? I'll save this part till the next one. But on the same train as Fortnite Rocket Racing, we have another update for Fortnite, and that is Lego Fortnite. Lego Fortnite. Let me say it one more time. Lego Fortnite. Are you serious? What are they doing over there at Epic? I don't know. This mode is already out. Now, Rocket Racing is going to be coming in, a few months, I think, but this one here, already out. You can play it right now. My buddy at work has already played it, says it's phenomenal. If you like Minecraft, you're gonna love this right here. You can take the skins that you've already unlocked, Legofy them when you go into this world, and you can wear them here. Fantastic. I definitely need to play this game, and honestly, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I just deleted Fortnite off of my PlayStation because I was like, you know what? I need some space. I got Avatar. I need to get some space, and that's taking up 55 gigabytes that I don't need to do right now, because I'm not playing the game. I haven't played Fortnite in several months since Ahsoka. So I'm like, I really just need that extra space, so I deleted it. And I'm like, Jelani, Fortnite just lives on the console. Nothing happens to it. It stays right there no matter what. And I deleted it. 2 days later, I found out about Lego Fortnite. So that's called instant karma for you if you kids back there are listening. Anyways, let's move over to the next game here, and that is the first Berserker, Kazan. Now, this is coming from the DNF universe, and this is actually from Nexon Games. We're going to be talking about them in a little bit here as well. But wow, let me tell you again, I am a sucker for art style. And I cannot believe how amazing this game looks. I'm a sucker for when you just put a cartoon character in a pseudo-real world where the world just looks like it's a modern world. There's no, what is it called? There's no, I cannot cell shading in the world, right? It's just cell shading over the characters. There's something about that visually that just really strikes me. Need for Speed, not Unbound. Is it Unbound? Yeah, I believe it's Unbound. Need for Speed Unbound. Either way, the latest Need for Speed game, pretty sure it's Unbound. They did the exact same thing, and that's the exact reason that I had to get that game, because I was like, man, oh man, if this is what they do to kind of put themselves separate from the rest of these racing games, they need to continue doing this, because they definitely do, and I see them doing the same thing here. Combat looks fantastic. I'm just amazed by this. This looked fantastic, and I was blown away. So as soon as this game drops, as soon as we hear more about it, I will be pulling up. Best believe that. All right, guys. Now, oh boy. remember when I told you that we were going to talk about other games that I bopped for, right? This next one here, and if you've watched the Game Awards and you're kind of keeping track of where we are in the world premieres, you will probably know a little bit about where I'm at and what I'm about to say. But let's first off say props to Xbox. You know, you got this one, you got it in the bag, and I'm very excited and very happy for them because, wow, we are going to get our first exclusive Marvel game on Xbox by way of Arcane Studios, and it's going to be Blade. Blade, baby. Oh my God. And not just any Arcane Studios. Let's preface this. This is coming from Arcane Lion. Okay? Dishonored. Deathloop. I think Prey. I could be wrong. But I think Prey as well. These guys know what they're doing. Alright? They know what they're doing. And seeing how funky and how much personality this small little snippet trailer had, I cannot wait. I am pulling up day frickin' one, and y'all know, listen, if you're listening to me, I'm a PlayStation gamer at heart. My Xbox is my Game Pass machine. Should I buy this game? Should I buy it? Because I'm thinking about buying it, even though I know I get it for free on Game Pass. It's not free, I'm paying for Game Pass. I apologize, let me back that up. But I know that I get it on Game Pass at no extra cost. But am I going to make that an extra cost for myself to show them some support for making a damn good Marvel game? Now, again, this is my assumption. I don't know if it's going to be good, but from the studio, I would assume that it is going to be good. You know what I'm saying? But, man, I was not expecting Blade. And I cannot wait. I will be pulling up whenever you tell me to, Xbox, all right? But let's move over to The Last Sentinel. Man, oh man, this game here, too. I'm telling you guys, every freaking game, man, I gotta say what Kyle Stevenson says all the time on the trophy room. Video games are awesome, guys, man. Video games are awesome. And I can't imagine, like, all of these games that we've just gone through, I think we're halfway through this list, and I'm still blown away. We're more than half. But blown away. Either way, back to Last Sentinel. This game here looks insane. Insane. So it looks like the entire society is robotic humanoid beings, right? And it is I would assume, post-apocalyptic future of Tokyo, Japan, somewhere, or not, it doesn't need to be Tokyo, but of Japan. I am all the way here. I can't even tell you how much here I am for this, but this thing looks insane. And we don't see any gameplay for it, but just the concept of what they're trying to do here already has me hooked. So we're gonna have to wait and see. We have to wait and see what they can do with this. But let me tell you, I feel like it's something magical, and I feel like it's going to be something that we're all going to be talking about for a very long time. Because, see, I think it's pushing the boundaries. I really do. But, again, that's without seeing any gameplay, so we're going to have to wait and see, because, you know, I'm, at this point, talking out of my ass. Anyway, let's move over to The First Descendant. Alright, guys, so this game here is... It definitely is a more combat-oriented game. Seems like it's more fast-paced. We'll see it here in a second when we actually get into it, but it definitely intrigues me. Every one of these games intrigues me. I'm sorry I keep saying it, but it's true. It's a fact of the matter. It is what it is. But, you know, when we were watching this, we were thinking, is this Pragmata? The game that, you know, from Capcom that got announced, Jesus, way back in, like, 2020, and that we haven't heard, I think we heard one other thing about it, but that's it. So, nope, this is not that. And honestly, still don't know what this is. This is more than likely just a new concept of a game, right? But, wow. When you see how, you know, these big towering enemies that you're having to fight against, and then the movement through the world, you're just gliding over everything. Kind of reminds me of Atlas Fallen a little bit, which I am playing on Steam Deck. It is not that good on Steam Deck. I should have gotten that on the PS5, but that's my fault. It is what it is. Anyway, you know, this definitely has all of the pieces that I'm like, okay, yeah, we've got a narrative, we've got, you know, cool visuals, we've got a grapple hook. Yeah, okay, I'm pretty much here. This looks like it's a game for me. But let us move over to Mecha Break. Oh, before we do that, this is also from Nexon Games. So again, we've got two games that are from this company, Nexon, and they both look like bangers. So Here we go. Let's hope that they are, right? Now, Mecha Break is definitely one of those games that is like a Gundam game, right? Now, I honestly thought that this was Gundam when I first saw it. Like, the image of the first mech that you are, like, seeing right here, it definitely looked like what is it? Like Gaiden, you know what I mean? So that's what I was looking for, and no, it's not that, but hey, we're still mech fighting, and this looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. Now, I did see people in the live stream that I was a part of that they said like, hey, is in the chat, they were like, are they trying to come for Armored Core? And honestly, they might be, potentially. Who knows? I don't know, because I haven't played Armored Core, and because I heard that it is terribly hard. And I am not a hardcore gamer like that. I am a hardcore gamer, but not a hard mode gamer, all right? Anyway, this game looks cool. I'm going to have to see kind of what it is. If it's a multiplayer game, I'm bouncing out immediately, because I'm not here for that. But I am here for a single-player story that can bring us through, you know, these different things. The combat looks really fun, at least with that being said. So if it's going to be extremely hard, though, that's where I'm like, I might have to put that on pause. You know what I'm saying? But we'll have to wait and see. Now, let us move over to Den of Wolves. Now, this comes from the creator of Payday and Payday 2. This is a brand new IP for them, but still a heist-style game. Okay, so they're still staying within their wheelhouse, but doing a completely different genre here. And it definitely looks good. It looks like a departure from what we've seen. It definitely looks like a step up in quality from what we've seen from this studio. Because I will say, now granted, I haven't played... Wait, no. Yeah, I mean, I have played Payday 2. I never played Payday, the first one, but I played Payday 2. I have not touched Payday 3, though. So I don't know how far they've come from Payday 2 to 3. They probably, you know, Payday 3 might look similar to what this does, and that would be awesome. But all I'm basing this off of is Payday 2, and I've got to say, the visual jump from 2 to this, it's night and day. It's like a completely different game. If you didn't tell me that the Payday creators made this game, I would have never believed you. So there is that. But let us move over to the next game, and this is actually the second to last game before I get y'all out of here, all right? That is Exoborn. Now, this is from Shark Mob and Infinite Level. I believe that's what it said. Hang on one second. Oh, I'm sorry. Level Infinite. I flipped the words around. So, this one here, when we were watching it, we were thinking, somebody said, or I think it was Kyle, he said that he thought it could have been a sequel to Vanquish, and honestly, I think this is just its own IP. It's in and of itself, which we know it is now at this point, but while we were watching it, he did a slide that is very reminiscent of the character from Vanquish, so I can see the thought process there. But I'm always up for new IP as well, you know what I'm saying? So, this game definitely looks like it's tough. It looks like they're going to be dealing with a bunch of stuff. We've got this, drastic weather here, and it doesn't look like it's, a good situation. And obviously, this seems as though it's kind of like an apocalypse. So there are going to be multiple things that we're doing here. Now, we don't really know that much of it because, again, there is no gameplay for this. This is just a CGI trailer. But from what I'm seeing, it does seem like there's a lot going on. Now, is this going to be a multiplayer game, single-player driven game, an open world game? That's all up for debate. I don't really know. But it definitely intrigues me. It has intrigued me. At the very end when this bus is coming flying towards you, and then this character comes and just grabs you off to the side and saves you. Like, come on, man, chills. Like, that was an awesome scene, awesome cinematic. So I am definitely looking forward to Exoborn, but again, don't know exactly, what to think of this one as of yet. Yeah, it's Exoborn Master the Apocalypse. And I believe this is an Xbox exclusive, so there we go. And without further ado, guys, the last game on the list here, the last game that I bopped for is Light No Fire. Now, this is coming from the developers behind No Man's Sky, so Hello Games. And I've got to say, this one here, this one really intrigues me. Really intrigues me. Now, we've got to take everything that this man says. Sean Layden, I think is his name. I may be mistaken on the last part, but his name is for sure Sean. We need to take what he said with great salt, all right? Because if you don't remember what he was spewing on the run-up to No Man's Sky, they didn't deliver at the beginning, but that's because I've read stories. They've definitely gone. They had a pretty tumultuous development cycle. Their entire studio got flooded, and they lost I think 95% of all of the work they had done, for 2 years. So they had to completely start from scratch. So like, that's gonna start, put a wrench in the machine. It's gonna make things happen and make, the game come out not the way that they wanted it to. So I understand that. But this game here, this seems just as ambitious as No Man's Sky, having a procedurally generated universe to explore. But this is just one singular Earth. One singular Earth that you can explore. He was saying that we wanted to make it to scale. So the mountains are actually mountains. They're not video game mountains. They're legit miles and miles and miles high. When you get to the very top of these mountains, you can see continents, you can see rivers, lakes, all of this stuff. And that right there intrigues the hell out of me. Not only that, every single player who plays this game will be on the same Earth. Every single player. And you got to think, that makes a lot of sense because we are all on this one Earth. So what better way to make us feel like this is a legit Earth if every single person who ever logs into this game is all encompassing the same map and the same, gameplay space. I definitely am through the roof with this game. Now, it wasn't as big of a bop for me as like Blade and as the other stuff on here, but I would say in the grand scheme of things, this is probably top 5 for sure. Top 5 for me. And I can't wait. I really just can't wait to see more of it. I can't wait to hear what else they have to say about it. And I can't wait for a release date in the grand scheme of things. I want to know when we can start playing this one. But just like GTA, we might have to wait 2 years for it, all right? But that is all of the world premieres that I want to discuss with you guys for today from the Game Awards 2023, all right? It was a fun time, fun watch. If you haven't watched the Game Awards, I suggest maybe giving it a watch next year. You know what I'm saying? Maybe go back and recap what you didn't see, if that's something that you're into. But the Game Awards is a fun time. It definitely is more about the reveals, more about the gameplay reveals and the trailers and whatnot than the actual awards themselves. So it's kind of weird that it is the Game Awards when it doesn't feel like a Game Award, but it is what it is. Everybody pretty much industry-wide has come to the agreement and conclusion that, listen, this is what we're going to get from the Game Awards. We're just going to have to be about it and be hyped for that and, maybe go and watch some other Game Awards. So I do think that when the DICE Awards comes around, I think that we're going to be covering it here on the Jedi Gaming Academy channel. But guys, as always, I have been your host, Jedi Master Ren, and I will see you next time in the halls of the Jedi Gaming Academy. May the Force be with you, all right? And Merry Christmas, because I will not be back until January 2024.